back to another rideshare driving experience video. This is video number 9 of my Lyft experience. I only drive for Lyft. I am the Zim. This is the Zim video. Thanks for joining. I am an artist and musician from Seattle, Washington, currently living in San Diego, driving for Lyft to make ends meet. So I'll tell you about more about my art music at the end. But so how much I always go how much I made, or my intro, how much I made, my star rating, a little thoughts that came up this week, and then that's about it. So let's get started. So how much I made, here's how much I made. Just more than 900 by that, but I made about $15 to $20 more in tips, cash tips. So I was looking at $930, $940, somewhere in that range I made for the week, and I'm much happier. If you were with me last week, you recognize that I was really disappointed about, well, I only made $700 and I worked my ass off last week. But this week I made 900, and I could have made 1,000. I could have broke that 1,000 mark last week, but I was just tired. By Sunday I was so tired. And then I had my kids coming back on Sunday afternoon, so I just decided to end a little earlier than normal. One of the major things, so that's what I made the week. Here's my daily breakdown. You see, on Saturday I made $275 or so, just on Saturday. By far my biggest single day, and a big part of that was I had an LA drive, so San Diego to LA, and I made on that drive, so it was a non-primetime drive. It cost them $200, plus he gave me a $20 tip. So, I made $150 from Lyft plus the $20 tip, so $170 on that drive up. And then, I posted about it on Facebook and stuff to my friends, to people I know in my community. And I get like this, I've noticed there's a lot of drivers, or a lot of people out there that are so skeptical about making money off of this, and it's not worth it, like the deadhead hours of driving down. The bottom line is, if you just put your nose down and work, you will make more money than you spend at this. If you get so nitpicky and just so worried about prime time and all this kind of stuff, you're gonna lose out. But if you just go, hey, I'm just gonna take every ride I get and go, you will make money at this. Anyways, that's just my thought. I'm just not a math guy either. I'm not like a guy that goes and gets all really nerdy about how much I made and how much I expend and all this kind of stuff. So I just sent off my taxes to my CPA today. So all my miles, and so I'll find out what I had to pay in taxes. So I'll let you know about that kind of information later. But right now, it's just put your nose down and work and get it done, and just spend time doing it, because the money's there to be had anyways. So there's my daily breakdown of every day. I made some money. I did okay Monday through Thursday, but Friday picked up a little, obviously, because it is a better day. Saturday I was gangbuster. It was awesome. It was like my third drive in the morning. I got 2, and then I picked up somebody downtown San Diego, and they were like, how far north do you want to go? Because he started off by just putting just south of LA, I don't know where he put the mark, but he was like, but I have to go another hour north. He was past the center of LA, called the Valley. I don't know the area that well. So anyways, and it ended up being a $200 ride. So that was pretty good for me. I liked it. In the long run, it benefited me because I made more that day than I've ever made yet. So awesome. So here's my star rating. So I'll let the daily emails scroll through right now. I don't think I went below a 4.91 all week. And it was multiple days this week that I was at a 4.95, and I ended with a 4.95. So currently, right now, I'm holding down a 5.0 star rating on the app side of things. We as drivers get that extra decimal point, so I got a 4.95. But people on the app see that it's a 5.0, and they noted, and that one person I drove to LA noted that he doesn't see many 5.0 drivers, so I'm pretty stoked on it. I hope I maintain that. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk. I see, it's one of the things we talk about most as drivers is our star rating, and online and user groups, and how to keep it up, how to get it up. And all I gotta say about it is, really, I responded to somebody just the other day with this idea is it's kind of like a golden rule thing. Like you treat others like you wanted to be treated, and there's also this kind of like controversy, I guess, or political kind of stance on whether or not to offer extras in your car, like water and gum and things like that. And I do it all. I forgot I was gonna bring all the things I offer. Right? I do water, I do gum, I do mint, and I do Dum Dums. And then I do cell phone power, and I have both the Android and the iPhone power. I know there's a couple other odd ones out there, but I do those two. So and I have all that stuff, and I provide it to my rides, and it does a couple things, as well as I believe lead to getting a better star rating. It also hopefully promotes people tipping more because it's like all inclusive kind of ride. But it's also the thing that I've noticed that's the best is it's an icebreaker. Like the people, whenever I get somebody that's kind of grumpy in my car, I go through the thing and almost every 9 times out of 10 I say, hey, I got water and gum if you want it. You know, I usually just say that, and then I go, and I got Dum Dums. And I go, okay, cool, no, I don't want it. And then I go, and I got cell phone power if you need it. And every single time I say cell phone power, almost every single time, it just breaks the ice, and they go, damn, you got it all, you know. And so it like creates a whole other atmosphere in the car, and then things kind of we start talking. And so I think if you can kind of approach this idea, I'm going into advice mode here. Like I forgot to say at the top, this is not advice. This is just recording and documenting my process of this and what's working for me. And I think if you can get into a place of kind of meeting the person where they are, breaking the ice, talking to them about things that they're interested in a way, not consuming a conversation, you'll be good. And I think maybe there was an idea that was brought up. This one person that asked why his star rating was so low, and it was possibly that, you know, he's setting up the environment in such a way, even if he is offering stuff and he has a clean car or whatever, just his attitude toward the environment, maybe setting it up in such a way that's not promoting people to want to rate him high. Like somebody mentioned that they looked at his profile and noticed he was a Christian or something, or really, you know, religious. And if he's trying to promote a religious thing in his ride some way, that could turn people off. I mean, there's lots of things that could turn people off. And I personally, there's two things that I think are no-nos. Don't ask for tips. Just don't do it. Don't have a sign out that says, you know, please tip or anything. It's just like, just provide a good service. They know that they can tip you because it's right there on the app. You don't have to remind them. If you remind them, I think you're setting yourself up for failure if you remind people to tip and also remind people to give you a good rating. That's also right there. They know it. They're getting their phone is being buzzed to remind them to rate the ride. They get emails. I mean, they're reminded already by Lyft. You don't have to remind them. You just have to provide a good service, and you'll get a good rating, and you'll potentially get tips on top of it as well. And of course, there are people that won't rate, so you can't do anything about that. And there are people that will rate for superficial reasons. And I believe more people, it really depends on your shift. If you're whatever shift you work more, I work mostly during the day, and I think people during the day are possibly a little more easygoing than people at night that are drunk and, I don't know, privileged or whatever is going on. So they're going to have a whole different perspective on what they're rating people on and why. So just consider that your demographic of people that you're giving rides to, you may get lower ratings. And like I said before, I think if you're hovering between like a 4.8 and above, it's basically a 5.0 because there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff out of your control. But if you're below that, you might look at why that's happening in a different context. Like ask your friends, saying, I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but ask your friends, what is it about is there something about my personality that may give somebody the wrong, you know, rub people the wrong way or whatever? And ask somebody you trust and be willing to hear them. And if you're not willing to hear them, then you'll never figure it out. So that's that. So the only thing I really have to mention other than that, I went on a lot farther with my star rating thing. But so this week, I guess within the last week and a half or so, there's been a whole new, you know, criteria or whatever around service animals. And basically, the way I see it, and I'm baffled by the backlash it's been getting. So there's a new requirements, I guess you could say, and it's basically as drivers, we are required to give people with service animals a ride, or you could risk losing your privilege in the sense of driving for the rideshare companies. Lyft, in this case, if you found out that you refused a ride to a service animal for whatever reason, you could be banned from giving rides. And basically, I've been thinking about this for a while, and basically what I think about this whole process is if you have a problem with giving a service animal, as somebody that needs a service animal, a ride, it's like, what the fuck is your problem? You are just a straight up asshole, period, if you have a problem with it. No matter what it is, if your allergies, whether you just don't like dog, you don't want your car to get dirty, it's just like, take one for the motherfucking team. You know, think about someone else besides yourself, is all I gotta say to that whole concept. If you it just baffled me how many people are backlash to the whole idea of having to give a service animal a ride. I mean, if your car does get dirty, bring a lint roller with you, have it in the car. After that ride, lint roll your back seat. Big deal. Most of the time, the service animals have the people with them have their animals on the floor. They're not on the seats. All that kind of stuff. So that's one thing. If you're concerned about allergies, if you just have a sniffle or a sneeze or something like that from animal allergies, that could happen regardless. Somebody could have animal dander all over them when they get in your car, and you don't know that. So refusing a service animal a ride because of that is just messed up. You know, it's just part of the job. It's part of the deal. You don't need to refuse somebody a ride because of that aspect. And then there's the whole idea of, like, if you're deathly allergic to an animal ride, either you need to be contacting Lyft, but there is a possibility that just may not be the right job for you. You may need to find another job if you are deathly allergic to animals. Because again, somebody that has some kind of animals could be covered in their dander and get in your car. So there are those things to consider. That's what I'm thinking. If you are any kind of being where you have a problem with giving a person that needs a service animal a ride, I think you're in the wrong business, and it's just, you are basically a kind of I don't know. I do not have a high value as you as a human being if you have a problem with giving somebody that needs help. It's, I don't know, the way I see it, those of us that are stronger, those of us that have more, need to help those that don't. And it's just another way you can do that. And if you have a problem with it, maybe you need to consider just another line of work. So that's really all I have to say about that. I don't know. I'm baffled by how much backlash, by how much complaining people have about the requirement of giving people that need help. That just it just blows my mind, to be honest. And as you know, I do other things. I mentioned on top, I'm an artist and musician. One of the things I do is I make a handmade clutch purse. If you want to investigate it, it's Alexander Thomas. It's on Etsy. I'll have the link in the description of this video. If you want to buy one, I'll give you a 20% discount code right there, LIVE20. So check it out. If you want to buy one, use the discount code. That'd be awesome. All right. I'll catch you next week. Peace. I also forgot to mention, use my referral code if you want to join Lyft. If you're thinking about becoming a Lyft driver, use the referral code. You'll get some money, more extra money. I'll get some extra money. Gotta do some work to make it happen, though. You gotta hustle and do some drives. So, alright. I've talked about it in previous videos, so you want to know more about this particular code and being a San Diego driver or not, or whatever, you can go back to older videos. So, alright, peace.